My little corner of the world. My name's Dawn, and I'm going to do a deep dive. My deep dives are going to be my book reviews. The reviews, I use that term loosely because everyone should just read whatever book they want to read. This is just a deep dive into a book that I've read that I absolutely loved, that I want to share more of why I loved it. I don't have the physical book because I had to turn it back into the library because it had another hold on it, and I don't want to keep someone else from reading it. It is the Lost Jewels by Kirsty Manning. You would have seen that in my what I have for my library. I gave this book 5 stars, and if you see me looking down, I have notes. It's just easier to get my thoughts in order. So this book met all of my expectations. I loved her previous book, The Song of the Jade Lily. Oh my gosh. First time I'd ever read this author. Amazed. This book is dual timeline with a bit of historical flashback interchapters that were a gem of a surprise. So that was unusual. You have the dual timeline and then these small interchapters of like historical nuggets. So good. This book is about a mysterious cache of jewels and the 2 women whose lives are connected to them. So we have Essie in 1912, who is a very poor Irish immigrant in England. She and her mother and siblings are struggling to get by. Her mother is an alcoholic. She is the oldest or second oldest, and she's trying to take care of all of her younger siblings who are very sick because they're malnourished. Then you have her great-granddaughter, Kate, who is a jewelry journalist historian. Didn't even know that existed. Maybe that's what I would have got my degree in if I even knew that that was a thing. And I want to say we're in present day, or like we're in the 2000s. Kate is assigned to do a story about a cache of jewels that has been found, and she travels to London and Cartier and Paris and India to find out the provenance of these jewels and why were they hidden, why were they made a certain way, who were they made for, who owned them, who made them. So there's like a little bit of sleuthing involved. The description of the places Kate goes are so vivid. So she goes to all these different places and you feel like you're right along with her, which I really appreciate from an author. It's a fast, easy read, and I don't mean that lightly. It's mainly because I didn't want to put it down. The author is able to fit in so much into her story, yet it's not a terribly long, drawn-out book. So a lot happens in the book, but it's not, it's just not that long. And you're just amazed that all of this happens in such a short time, and it still makes sense. She's not skipping over anything that she maybe needed to put in there, and you're kind of lost and wondering why. It all works. I don't know how, but it all works, and it is so good. I can see how some people might not like the short interchapters. They can be a bit distracting, but for me, I loved it, and I wanted to learn more about jewels and gems and their provenance. There is a bit of a love story, and that might turn some people off. It is not a romance that takes over the entire book. It's just a bit of a love story. I didn't mind it, and it seemed to work for me. This is the second book of hers that I've given 5 stars. Like I said, I read The Song of the Jade Lily and gave that 5 stars. That is a World War II historical fiction, but it's set in Shanghai, if I believe correctly. So very different from what you normally see in that subgenre. And it looks like she has another one coming out called The Paris Gift in 2021. I think that could be a working title. I'm not sure. So I'm super excited to read that. I will be first on the list of the library for that one. I may even buy it because I've just been mildly impressed by Kirsty Manning. If you have read any of her books, I would love to know what you thought of them. The Lost Jewels is historical fiction, but it's not about a war, so that was nice. I enjoyed learning about her grandmother coming over to America and basically never talking about her childhood or her family that she left behind. So you're kind of left to wonder what happened, because she was the caretaker for all of these kids, and then what happened because she's just in America and doesn't talk about them. So I love the way she tied it up at the end, and yeah, I just 5-star for me. I loved this book. It made me feel, I loved it. I love the characters. A plus. So don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm just a little baby channel trying to make it out there. Tell your friends about it. Come on over and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.